Fido, your only source for bad dog, go lie down. Okay, I've got to apologize for Fido Live number 111. I lost
Not really your fault.
I lost a QuickTime video, had to use the cell phone, and the sound is horrible. So in way of apology, I just wanted to run through the show. Perhaps the microphone will be a little bit better here. We're live streaming right now on it's Sunday at 4:30 in the afternoon on both Rumble and YouTube. No one will ever expect this, so no one will ever see it, but perhaps you'll catch it in a rerun. I'm just going to go over the jokes I did on the cover sheets, and probably not going to read the comic strip. I've done that already. You've seen it. You'll see it next week. This is just to test to see if I can trust live streaming again. We're going through Rumble this time rather than StreamYard or any of the other things. So I started with Dylan Mulvaney. Well, they're closing the Budweiser plant in our neck of the woods. This is in Medford. Well, like you ever drink Budweiser?
No, there's like 200 people out of jobs.
Yeah. And the funny takeaway is that Martinetti's liquor store, a local liquor store, is taking over production of Budweiser now. They make their own like cheap scotches, their own label brand alcohol.
They're notorious around here.
And they're selling so little Budweiser now that Martinetti's can pick up the slack. Okay, well, good job there, Dylan. Well, Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis. They did a trailer in which you got the feeling that they weren't quite sure about their film because they opened up talking about all of Francis Ford Coppola's other films and how critics gave them bad reviews, but they actually turned out to be classics. For instance, The Godfather, diminished by artsiness, says Paul Cale of The New Yorker. A sloppy, self-indulgent movie, says Andrew Cyrus of The Village Voice. Doesn't know what it wants to be. Apocalypse Now. A spectacular failure. That's John Simon of the National Review. Hollow at the core. Vincent Canby of New York Times. An epic piece of trash. Rex Reed of the Daily News. Finally, a name I recognize. Then of Dracula. I didn't know Dracula was a classic, but okay, I'll go with it. A triumph of style over substance. Well, that's Roger Ebert, Chicago Sun-Times. I know Roger Ebert.
I think Dracula's become more popular as time goes on.
Okay. A beautiful mess is Owen Gleiberman from Entertainment Weekly. And falls flat is Rex Reed, but this time he's with the New York Observer. Oh, I know what happened. After he called Apocalypse Now an epic piece of trash, they fired him from the Daily News. So now he's working at the New York Observer. So, but we find out that none of these critics ever gave any of these reviews.
What?
Lionsgate is immediately recalling the trailer for Megalopolis. A Lionsgate spokesman said in a statement provided to Variety, "We offer our sincere apologies to the critics involved and to Francis Ford Coppola, Americans overtold." Yeah, apologize all you want. What they did is they went to ChatGPT, or the equivalent AI, and they said, what would a typical bad negative review of a classic Francis Ford Coppola film sound like?
So it kind of did work because it sounded believable.
It sounded like, yeah. But apparently Francis Ford Coppola, or the producers here, actually he is the producer, I'll get back to that in a second, is afraid that he's going to get horrible reviews for his film and it's going to hurt him. And Francis sold his winery. And he wanted to make this film for $100 million and an extra $20 million just in case there were overruns. And the thing actually ended up costing around $140 before he slammed on the brakes. So it's probably not a finished film.
Oh, probably not.
It's the story of a city like New York after a natural disaster, and an architect wants to rebuild it as a city of the future, and there's a corrupt mayor who wants to do business as usual. I likened it to when Rome burnt, Nero took all the burnt land and made his own pleasure dome palace. So, well, good luck, Mr. Coppola. I hate to see you go broke again. All right. I like to give my applause and brava to women in industry when they deserve it. And this week it's Jennifer Salke, Amazon's own succubus. She has canceled Phoebe Waller-Bridge's Tomb Raider. This is Phoebe from, here we go, Tomb Raider. Hey, has anyone ever noticed they're making Laura Croft's tits smaller? Whatever. So Phoebe had hired our old friend Megan McDowell here. You remember that I had to put sunglasses on her because she had crazy eyes, and I guessed that she owned 3 cats just by looking at her, but who knows? Megan is famous for writing the Marvels, amongst other things, and while she was going to bring that magic to Tomb Raider, well, not anymore. Brava, where are you? Oh, there you are. Jennifer Salke. I criticized Jennifer last week for having no resume and there being no reason why she would ever have this job. Well, you've done something right. Good job. And more applause here for Amy Pascal. Now, Amy Pascal is no longer the head of Sony. Okay, I know that. But on the way out the door, she snuck in, I'm in charge of Spider-Man.
Bravo, Amy. Bravo.
And what has Amy done? Well, we have a long history of them hooking Tom Holland up with ugly women.
Oh, stop.
Where is she? Oh, no, I don't have it.
You have to have it.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Long history of hooking up Tom with ugly women. Now they're hooking him up with Sydney Sweeney, who's going to play the Black Cat, a role she was born to play. This is the era of the comic book where I read it as a kid. And Spider-Man was Spider-Boy until he met the Black Cat. She made him Spider-Man. Before then, he had Gwen Stacy, and he had what's her name, Mary Jane Watson, which I don't consider Zendaya Mary Jane Watson. I can't stand Zendaya. I was gonna watch Dune. She's in it. It's like so I did not watch Dune. I probably would have enjoyed it because Zendaya was in it.
I know you really don't like her.
But hey, Sydney Sweeney, and when we did the lost recording that you had, we kept Miss Sweeney on the board as our inspiration. So yeah, brava, Miss Pascal, finest work you've done in years. So where would one of my opening bits be without Disney? I've been beating up on them for years. But good news with Disney is Bob Iger wants to retire.
No.
We got a story here from Variety. Bob Iger says top Democrat urged him to run for U.S. president because you look the part. You know, I always thought they casted that role, but you would think that they could cast a better president than what they have now. They're doing a lot of miscasting lately, aren't they? All right, so we have a guy from, I think it's Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter, whatever, one of those companies, who's going to do the nationwide search for the next CEO of Disney. And the front runner currently is Kevin Myers here. And the reason why I know he's the front runner is because they've already started doing the hit pieces on him. This is a Disney boss, Kevin Meyer, brilliant, deal maker, or bully. Both, insiders say. And here's a hit piece on Kevin. Kevin Meyer, the master strategist behind Disney's bold acquisition of Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm, and 20th Century Fox, who is overseeing the imminent launch of its biggest gamble in years, the Disney Plus streaming service. Hey, Kevin, how'd that go? So anyway, Kevin is the lead contender, and our other candidates are Alan Bergman here, Josh DeMarco, Jimmy Pitaro, and of course, Dana Walden. Now, I can see a problem here already. None of them are named Bob. So it's going to be a really tough choice for this guy, Dean Witter, whoever. And Disney did its thing where they talked about what they're showing, or what they're making, what they're working on. And apparently they're still working on Mandalorian and Grogu, which is okay. And they They did not say anything about any of Kathy Kennedy's projects. Nothing about the Ray movie. Nothing about the trilogy that Brian Johnson is supposed to be doing. Ryan Johnson. Yeah, whatever. Big head. The guy who did the second Star Wars trilogy film. And nothing about the fate of the writers, Lucasfilm Writers Group, the stunning, brave, and diverse group of women who are all dressed alike in this photo. And this is probably the last time we'll ever talk about the Acolyte. Everyone remembers the Acolyte because it had these three big guys in it with the four lightsabers and the broom. Remember that? Or maybe you remember from the Acolyte this famous cast of characters. You know, the little green woman and this guy and the Wookiee with the cross. There was a Wookiee in it, but the cross thing on the cross guard on the lightsaber, and of course the Brie Larson looking woman. Everyone remembers, and this guy. These were all characters in the film. Either that or perhaps
They weren't.
perhaps they weren't. The Acolyte season 2 has been canceled. Self-deletion watch is going into effect all over the internet as YouTubers who have made careers out of criticizing this film over the past 6 weeks have run out of material. You spent about $230 million on this, Leslie Headland, and I don't see any of that on the screen. And we've got weeks and weeks of these false advertisements. You're going to show me the teaser trailer. These guys weren't in the film. These guys weren't in the teaser trailer. This whole Acolyte thing was a big scam. Leslie Headland got paid. She took the money and ran. Disney, get your accountants in there. Get a forensic accountant in there and find out what happened to that money. All right, so that's the last we'll ever talk about the Acolyte. We wish Mr. Iger a good retirement, although he does plan on staying in his office for the next 6 years because he really likes that shower. Oh, hey, any paparazzis who have not gotten a picture of Bob Iger's shower, you're not doing your jobs. Get in there. I want to see that mildewy Disney shower. I'm sure there are Mickey Mouse ears all over the place.
Ew.
All right, I think that's the last of our opening bit, which you all may have missed because the recording was so horrible. If this works out, and maybe we'll get this both on YouTube and Rumble, maybe we'll do a live stream. 12 noon next Sunday. I'll keep you all informed. Here's the comic strip. You can all see it when it comes out. I do it daily. And that's the end of the show. Thank you for joining me for Fido Live number 111. This is the live stream fix. And like, subscribe, do whatever you want. If you like it, if you want. All right, well, how do we end this video now?
Tugging our ears.
End stream. Here we go. Hey, it's only 13 minutes, too.
Oh.
See you next week.
Bye.